Close your eyes for just one moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling completely in control of your life. No anxiety, no stress, no wondering where your life is going. Just pure, burning clarity, knowing exactly who you are, what you want, and how you're going to get it. That feeling? Millionaires feel it every single morning. And here's the truth nobody tells you. It didn't happen by accident. It didn't happen because they got lucky. It happened because they built a morning that was designed carefully, intentionally to win. Welcome. Today, we are going to talk about something that will genuinely change your life if you let it. We're going to talk about morning habits. Not the ones you've heard 1,000 times in a motivational quote on Instagram, but the real, deep, powerful habits that separate the people living extraordinary lives from the people who are just surviving. This isn't theory. This is a blueprint. So stay with me for the next hour. Block out the noise, because by the time this is over, you are going to see your mornings and your life completely differently. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let me ask you something honest. What does your morning look like right now? For most people, it looks like this. The alarm goes off, you hit snooze 2, maybe 3 times, you finally drag yourself out of bed, you're already late, already stressed. You grab your phone, and the first thing you do is scroll. Social media, news, other people's lives. And before you've even brushed your teeth, your brain is already overwhelmed, already reactive, already anxious. You haven't made a single choice for yourself, and the day has already started without you. Now, let me show you another morning. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. There's no snooze. The person sits up, plants their feet on the ground, takes one deep breath, and says out loud, "Today is mine." They don't touch their phone. They move through a sequence of habits they've built over months. By the time the rest of the world is waking up, they've already meditated, moved their body, read, visualized their goals, and planned their most important work. That's not a superhuman. That's a person who made a decision. Here is the science behind why mornings are so powerful. The first hour after you wake up, your brain is in a state called the hypnopompic state, a transition between sleep and full wakefulness. Your subconscious mind is still highly active. What you feed your mind during this window gets absorbed deeply. Millionaires know this. They use this window not to consume, but to create, not to react, but to design. Your morning is not just the start of your day. Your morning is the foundation of your entire life. Build it poorly, and everything you try to build on top of it will be unstable. Build it with intention, and nothing can stop what you become. The first habit is the most fundamental, and most people never master it. Getting up when you say you will. This sounds almost too simple, but listen carefully, because this single habit contains a truth that goes far deeper than sleep. Every time you hit snooze, you are teaching your brain one lesson, that your decisions don't matter, that you can negotiate with yourself, that your commitments to yourself are optional. And if you negotiate with yourself in bed, you will negotiate with yourself in business. You will negotiate with yourself in relationships. You will negotiate with yourself when the moment comes to make a hard choice that determines your future. The snooze button is not about sleep. It is about whether or not you trust yourself. Mel Robbins, one of the most powerful voices in personal development, discovered something she called the 5-second rule. The moment you have an instinct to act, you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you move. Because your brain will always find a reason to stay comfortable. It will always find a reason to wait. But success is not built in comfort. It is built in the moment you move before you feel ready. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, your feet hit the floor. Not because it's easy, because you decided it matters. And here's what happens when you do this consistently. Something extraordinary begins to occur. You start to trust yourself.
Every morning you rise when you said you would, you are depositing a coin in the bank of your own self-belief. And slowly, that bank fills up. And when it's full, you become unstoppable. The discipline of rising is not about waking up early. It is about becoming the kind of person whose word to themselves means something. In a world that never stops talking, the people who win are the ones who learn to be still. The second habit of millionaires is stillness. It goes by many names: meditation, prayer, reflection, mindfulness. The name doesn't matter. What matters is this: before you let the world in, you spend time with yourself. We live in the most distracted era in human history. The average person checks their phone within 3 minutes of waking up. They immediately absorb other people's emergencies, opinions, and drama. Their nervous system spikes, their anxiety rises, and they spend the rest of the day trying to catch up with a brain that was hijacked before they even had breakfast.
Millionaires do the opposite. Before they look at a single notification, they sit in silence, even just 10 minutes. And in that silence, they do something most people are terrified to do. They listen to themselves. Here is something nobody tells you about success. It requires enormous self-knowledge. You cannot build a great life if you don't know what you actually want, what you actually fear, what actually drives you. And the only way to access that knowledge is through quiet. The world will fill your mind with noise if you let it. Successful people protect the silence of their mornings like it is sacred, because it is. When you meditate, when you sit still and breathe, you are doing something neuroscientists have confirmed changes the physical structure of your brain. You are strengthening the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, emotional regulation, long-term thinking. You are literally building a better brain, one morning at a time. But beyond the science, there is something even more important. Silence teaches you patience, and patience is the most underrated skill in wealth building. Every get-rich-quick scheme, every bad investment, every burned relationship in business happens when someone acts from panic or impatience. The person who can sit in stillness every morning is the person who can wait for the right opportunity, make the right decision, and stay calm when everyone around them is losing their mind. Give yourself 10 minutes of silence tomorrow morning, not to think about your problems, just to breathe, just to be, and watch what begins to change. Your body is not just a vehicle that carries your brain to meetings. Your body is your business partner. And if you are not taking care of it every single morning, you are sabotaging everything else you're trying to build. Millionaires move their bodies in the morning, consistently, without exception. And the reason isn't vanity. It isn't about looking good. It's about something that happens in your brain when you exercise that no coffee, no supplement, no motivational video can replicate. When you move your body, when you run or lift or stretch or do anything that gets your heart pumping, your brain releases a cocktail of the most powerful chemicals available to you. Dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which scientists have literally called miracle grow for the brain. It grows new neural connections, it sharpens your focus, it elevates your mood, it reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that kills creativity and decision-making. You cannot buy what exercise gives you. You can only earn it. Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin Group, was once asked what single habit was most responsible for his productivity. He said, working out in the morning. He said it gave him an extra 4 hours of productive energy every single day. Think about what that means over a year, over a decade. Morning exercise doesn't just improve your health, it compounds. Every morning you move your body, you are a sharper thinker, a better decision maker, a more energetic leader for the rest of that day.
And all of those better days stack on top of each other, and over time, they become a different life. You don't need a fancy gym. You don't need an hour. You need 20 minutes and a decision to show up for yourself. Start small if you have to. Walk, stretch, do push-ups in your bedroom, but move every morning without negotiation. Because the body that sits still becomes stiff, and the mind connected to it becomes the same. You are what you consume, not just food, but information. Every single thing you read, watch, listen to, and talk about is shaping the way you think. It is either expanding your mind or limiting it. It is either pulling you toward the life you want or anchoring you to the one you're trying to escape. Millionaires read in the morning, or they listen, or they learn. Every single day, without fail, they are deliberately pouring knowledge, perspective, and wisdom into their minds before anything else gets in. Warren Buffett reads 5 to 6 hours every single day. Bill Gates reads 50 books a year. Oprah Winfrey has said that reading was her path from poverty to power. These are not coincidences. These are patterns. Here's what consistent morning reading does to you. It exposes you to problems that have already been solved. Every business challenge you will ever face has been faced before. Every fear you carry has been conquered by someone who wrote about it. Every strategy you need to grow has already been discovered and documented. And reading is the fastest, cheapest, most powerful way to download that wisdom directly into your own mind. 30 minutes of reading every morning on business, on mindset, on history, on human psychology will make you more capable, more confident, and more creative than 90% of the people you compete with. Because 90% of people are not doing it. They are watching entertainment. They are scrolling. They are numbing.
But you are growing. You are building. Here is a powerful shift to make. Treat reading not as a hobby, but as an investment. Every book you read is a conversation with someone who spent years learning something so you don't have to learn it the hard way. Start with 30 pages a day, just 30. That's about 15 minutes. By the end of 1 year, you will have read 20 to 25 books, and in 3 to 5 years, you will look back and realize your entire worldview has transformed. Not because of one dramatic event, but because of 30 pages every morning. That is the power of small and consistent. Now we arrive at the habit that most people skip, the habit that feels unnecessary, the habit that when you finally understand it, you will wish you had started years ago. Writing your vision every single morning. Not once a year in a journal you forget about, every morning. A few sentences or a page written in the present tense as if the life you want is already yours. Here's why this works, and this is not mysticism, this is neuroscience. Your brain has a system called the reticular activating system, the RAS. It is a filter in your brain that decides what information is important and what gets ignored. Think of it like a search engine. Whatever you program it with, it will find evidence for in the real world. When you write your goals and your vision every morning in vivid detail, you are programming your RAS. You are telling your brain, this is what matters. And throughout the day, your brain will start noticing opportunities, connections, ideas, and information that align with what you wrote. Things that were always there, but that you were filtering out because your brain didn't know they were relevant. This is why visualization works. This is why the most successful athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders in the world all have some form of written vision practice. But there's another reason this habit is transformative, and it's simpler. Writing your vision keeps you honest with yourself. It's easy to drift. It's easy to spend 3 months busy with things that don't actually matter to your real goals. But when you write your vision every morning, you are forced to confront whether your day is aligned with your life. You can't lie to yourself on paper.
And that daily confrontation with your own truth is what keeps you moving in the right direction when the world tries to pull you sideways. Write where you are going. Write who you are becoming. Write it with feeling. Write it with belief. And then go live a day that deserves the vision you wrote. Everything we have talked about so far has been preparing you for this moment, the first hour of deep, focused work. Millionaires protect their mornings because they understand a truth about energy and time that most people never discover. Not all hours are equal. Your brain in the morning, after sleep, after movement, after silence, after reading, is at its absolute peak. Your willpower is fully charged. Your decision fatigue is zero. Your focus is at its sharpest. This is your golden hour, and what you do with it determines everything. Most people waste this window on emails, on meetings, on tasks that feel urgent but aren't important. They spend their best energy on other people's priorities and then wonder why their own dreams never seem to get closer. The habit of millionaires is this. The first hour of work goes to your most important project, your biggest goal, your most creative and demanding task. No email, no phone calls, no social media. Just you and the thing that matters most. Cal Newport, in his groundbreaking work on deep focus, describes this kind of work as the ability to perform at your cognitive peak on tasks that create real value. He argues, and the evidence backs him up, that this ability is becoming rare in our distracted world, and because it is rare, it is enormously valuable. 90 minutes of uninterrupted, focused work on the right thing every morning is worth more than 8 hours of scattered, reactive busyness. Guard this time. Build a wall around it. Let people know you are not available in the morning. Turn the phone off, close the tabs, and do the work that actually moves the needle. One focused morning at a time, that's how empires are built. We have covered a lot of ground today. Wake up with intention, sit in silence, move your body, feed your mind, write your vision, do your most important work first. 6 habits, 1 morning, 1 life transformed. But here's the truth I want to leave you with, and please hear this deeply. Millionaires are not a different species. They are not born with something you weren't given. The difference between the person listening to this right now and the person living the life you dream about is not talent, it is not luck, it is not connections or timing or the country you were born in. It is daily decisions, repeated consistently over a long period of time. Every single morning you get a fresh chance. The sun rises and offers you something extraordinary, another opportunity to become who you are capable of being. You don't need a perfect past to have a powerful future. You just need to decide, and then keep deciding every morning to be the person your future requires. You have everything you need. The question is never whether it's possible. The question is, will you start tomorrow? Start tomorrow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.